If you're like most people flying budget like Spirit or Frontier for the first time, this whole check-in process is going to be super hard for you. So I am here to simplify it, make it so easy for you. And you won't have to pay any hidden fees or anything like that because I've got you covered. I'm going to make it easy for you because I just so happen to have one from Frontier and one from Spirit. Actually, this one's from Spirit, this one's from Frontier. I'm going to divide this video up into 3 sections, so feel free to jump around depending on what you have questions about. But I know the hardest part, guys, about doing this whole like automatic bag drop and everything is you don't understand how these work. So I want to explain these first. So this one here is from Spirit. And as you can see, it literally is just a big sticker and it just sticks together. So it's going to print out like this, and it's going to come out. Okay, so this little part here is going to have an adhesive part to it. So you're going to peel that off, and then you're simply going to slide this into your handle, and it even says attach here. And this area here is where these guys are. So if you have taken a trip in the past, make sure you have none of these stickers because this is what gets scanned to go to the correct airport. So they're gonna be sitting here like this. So you just take this off, stick it on your bag, and then you simply attach here. So you're gonna put that right here. And it's that easy, guys. It's the same with Frontier. So this one still has some of the stickers on it. I didn't put them on. So for this one, it's going to print out. Again, it has the sticker area where you're going to peel this off. Do you see how this part is kind of like adhesive? So you're going to take this adhesive piece off so that it is sticky. And this is where your little stickers are. So again, you want to make sure there's no old stickers on your bags. Do this before you leave the house because in the airport, in the heat of the moment, you're going to be forgetting about it. So just take any stickers or anything off of all your bags. That's really important, guys. So then again, this is going to be here. You can see here. So I usually keep one and I put it on my ticket, or you can actually like just rip this part off here if you want. And just keep this part in your bag because if your bag does get lost, this is the tracking number. And same for Spirit also. So again, you just slide it under. And it's a sticky part. So it's going to attach right here where it says attach here. And there you go. It's really that easy. So I feel like that's the hardest part of this whole process because especially if you don't fly a lot, we're so used to just handing our bags over to somebody else to do it. But because you're flying budget, that's why it's so cheap, because you don't have any interactions with anybody. So you're gonna wanna learn how to do this yourself. I hope that was easy enough. I know I'm making it sound super easy, but it's really that easy. Like, I don't know if you could see this one, like they even come with instructions on it, like how to attach it. So it really is that easy, guys. It's like step 1 is take off the adhesive. Step 2 is stick it on. Like it's a really, really easy process. So now that I've showed you how to put the thing on your bag, this is the bag drop area. Now this is where it gets really confusing too, because a lot of people will just be standing around because they don't know what to do. So just walk up to an open kiosk. It's really that simple, guys. Just walk around the confused people and go to a kiosk. You then touch anywhere on the screen and it will bring you to this menu. And just worry about the part where you put in your confirmation number. This is all you're going to need. And Frontiers looks really similar. As I said, it's going to be a similar process. So I figure I'll just show you this Spirit one because they look exactly the same. So from here, it's going to show you your flight information and you're going to say looks good and accept or whatever, pops up on screen. And then you're going to just say, okay, because you're not carrying any bombs or anything. That's what the main thing is. And again, Frontier Airlines has a similar thing. I think all airlines ask this now. So then we're going to move on to the next screen. And this is where you can print out a paper boarding pass for yourself and also your bag tag. And they're all going to come out this same thing right here. And on your ticket, it will have your gate and everything, but it's always good to double check your gate number once you're inside through security because stuff changes all the time. Now this is going to be when you put on your bag tag, which I just showed you how to do in the previous clip, and then we're going to bring it over to the bag drop. They do have signs everywhere how to get over to the bag drop and everything, but you can just ask somebody, they'll tell you where it is. And you're going to put your bag on the conveyor belt, verify your ID with the machine right next to where your bag is. It's really easy, guys. It's like a 1-2 process. They wouldn't let me film over there. And depending on the airport, sometimes you're going to drop it with an associate too. Some of them don't have the automated bag drops. And now you'll just need your ID for security and also your boarding pass. If you're not checking a bag, you can totally skip that kiosk line because you already have your boarding pass on your phone. Sometimes I don't have very good service in the airport, so I'll just screenshot it also. You could screenshot it from your email too. And that will cover all the hard stuff at the airport. Then you just have to make it through security and you're good to go. Now let's move on to part 2 where I'm going to show you how to avoid all those extra costs at the airport, and we're going to save you money before you even get near an airport. So on their website, you can see you could book a flight, you can check in for your flight, or you could see the flight status of a flight. And similarly, so does Spirit, but theirs is located in the top left-hand corner. So you can, book your flight and everything, but they have My Trips check-in flight status. It's in that little toggle bar. If you need help on how to book a cheap flight, I have a whole nother video about that. I'll leave it over here. But today we're focusing on Frontier Airlines and Spirit Airlines. So for this example, let's say we're going to go to Vegas. So you'll see when the option comes up, you can kind of go to the left or to the right and see which dates have a better deal. But keep in mind that the price that they're showing you is that lowest fare rate that they suggest as part of their club. Spirit is the same way. They have the frequent flyer club thing, but each of those memberships you have to pay a monthly amount. We're not doing that because we're just budget travelers, but I just wanted to point that out. These other prices are going to pop up. So say we found our ideal rate. I want to remind you guys that you can use a program like Uplift or Affirm, and that's going to do like a monthly breakdown for you, so you don't have to pay that all at once. And remember that every time you use a website, it does collect cookies. So see here how the price jumped to $186. What you need to do is just go into your settings and Safari, and you can clear all your cookies, and it should reset the website to go back to that original price that you saw. You can also check prices on your computer because they're going to show up different because they have different cookie history and stuff like that too. And speaking of computers, make sure you check your email because they are always giving out coupons and things. So you don't want to miss out on any of that kind of stuff because it will save you a lot of money as well. Most of the time you just click that link and it will take you right to the deal, but there's also a space here for a promo code if there's a promo code. Also read the rules and regulations because a lot of them are just like Tuesday, Wednesday, Saturday, or certain days of the week. And double check that your area is one of the specials. Next, the moment you've been waiting for is the hidden fees. So if you want to sit in a specific seat, you have to pay for it. If you want to bring bags, you have to pay for those. So this is where it really starts adding up. If you want to skip the line to go to the front of the line first, that's an extra charge too. So remember that we originally got this airfare for the cheap deal. So if you want all those kind of perks, maybe you should look into a different kind of airline. But we're just trying to have a budget vacation, bring a backpack, and that's all we need, or check a bag, and that's all we need. So you're going to keep scrolling down to customize your own bundle and hit continue. We're not picking a seat. We're just going to sit wherever we get stuck in. But this gives you an idea of the pricing. It is going to add up really quick because remember, you pay for your seat on the way there and the way back, so that's 2 times what you're seeing here. And they're going to keep reminding you, if you don't want to pay for it now, it's going to be more expensive at the airport. So remember, if you want any of these choices, pay for it now because it will be more expensive at the airport. And that is including bags. So as you see here, a carry-on is $58 and a checked bag is also $58. Again, this is both ways, so $58 there and $58 back. So remember, you don't want to be paying all this money for a check bag and a carry-on bag. It's going to get really expensive. Just bring a big check bag if you need luggage. And remember, a purse is free, but make sure the dimensions are correct on all of your bags because they will charge you at the airport if they are not the correct size. So make sure you keep up to date with the latest changes. You'll see a number of other extra charges that pop up. You just want to ignore them and just keep scrolling to the bottom. And since I already showed you how to use the kiosks, you do not need agent assistance because you can do it all yourself. So don't pay for that, guys. If you go to an agent while you are at the airport, they will charge you. I got to give it to them. Their branding, though, is cute. And now on to part 3. I just want to show you what to expect on the plane. And remember to double check that you are going to the right gate. You're not going to need your ID at all. You just need your boarding pass, and then you're going to walk on down and hit your seat. Now, as you can see, this is a pretty small tray. It is about a hand's width, and the seats are comfortable enough, but they're not going to be comfortable for over a 5-hour flight, as I said before. And Frontier is going to be just about the same. As you can see, there's about like a hand's width between my knees and the seat, and I am 5'6", so that gives you an idea. And this one actually has a pocket. I've never seen a pocket in a Spirit flight. Usually it's literally just pieces of string, kind of like a bungee cord, so you can't really put anything there. It's just meant to hold the safety guide. This air vent is going to be your savior, so make sure you turn your air on. And here's an idea of what the bathroom looks like. Yes, I'm still paranoid about COVID, so I still wear my mask on the plane, but it's just a typical airplane bathroom, like nothing special. I did think it was funny because planes still have like a smoking tray for cigarettes, even though you haven't been able to smoke on planes for like years and years. So I just wanted to point that out. And these like aisleways, as you can see, people like have their legs out. Like these are small alleyways. They're probably only like 1.5 feet. Like, did you see how that girl was standing? There's not much room at all. But I wanted to show you guys the pricing because it's really like the same as at the airport anyway. So if you want to buy something on a Spirit flight or a Frontier flight, their pricing is very similar, and it's really not that more expensive than it would be just buying it at the airport. And guys, flying budget airlines like Frontier Airlines and Spirit Airlines is so easy. It's like literally, it's not that bad. Like look at how big these seats are. I mean, it's not like a huge plane or anything, but it gets the job done. Like what more do you need? I just fall asleep anyway. And then you get off the plane and you go and you get your bag from bag drop and you're good to go for your vacation. All right, now talking about sizing. So I'm using this boot for like a point of reference, but depending on which airline you're flying, they do have different sizing. So this boot kind of gives you an example. This is just a basic backpack. Like it's pretty small. And then you're going to compare that to like what they consider your personal item is like a purse. So you could see the purse compared to a backpack is much smaller. So that's that. And then this would obviously be like a suitcase that you would pack. And then this would be considered like a carry-on. If this is okay, but they do charge for carry-ons. So this size, you're going to have to pay for it. And it is mostly cheaper to pack this bag, which makes no sense, right? So if you have a bunch of stuff, I would suggest just checking your bag versus carrying a carry-on bag because it's cheaper to get a big bag. Isn't that crazy? And of course, be careful with your book bags. Like I said, this one is like small. I can easily kind of like scrunch it up. But if it's a book bag, like how this one, you know, see how it's kind of bigger. If it's like a big book bag, something like a travel luggage or, you know, when you go camping or something like that, they're not going to let you on with it. They're going to make you pay. If you guys have any more questions, feel free to ask them below. Make sure you check out this other video. It just kind of goes over what it takes to go on a budget airline. And guys, the reason they're so budget is because you're not paying for all these extra features that you get with a regular airline. And that's the point, because you're not paying for that. So like, we don't want to spend money on those kind of things. We can bring them on the plane ourselves, or we could buy them in the airport for the same price, basically. So keep that in mind when you're booking budget. It is so much cheaper because you're not getting all these perks of like Delta and American Airlines and things. The perk is where you need to spend maybe like 12,000 miles to get that free trip. These kind of rewards programs, you only have to spend like 4,500 sometimes. I've gotten tickets for as low as 2,500 miles, and I've gotten tickets as low as $75 round trip. So keep that in mind too, to sign up for their email lists. sign up for their rewards programs, and those rewards are going to be rolling in. They do have a lot of rules and regulations like I showed you before, but the benefit is you're only paying this much. And a lot of times you're just trying to get from A to B for really cheap. So keep that in mind that you're only going to be on the flight for maybe like an hour, 2 hours. I wouldn't go more than 5 hours on a budget airline. It is going to get a little uncomfortable after a while. And if you like videos like these and you want to learn how to travel on a budget, how to travel for free, how to travel for cheap, then you'll want to hit that subscribe and check out this playlist here that is packed with tons of travel tips that will get you all over the place. So check that out and I will see you over there.